Hey everyone, inhale to the fellowship. We thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your nerdy normie reviewer, the Elvin Barber, and joining me is the loyalist himself, TC, the Dope Cripple.
Hello.
And we're those guys. Episode 9 of the Winchesters. Not as fired up as I was in episode 8, or yourself, sir.
Not at all.
Um, Still, I mean, another procedural episode, right? I don't know.
There are definitely a few stupids in this.
Yes, yes, on that I agree. It starts off with this truck here T-boning the station wagon. Uh, yeah. Then we come to find out the people in the station wagon were vampires, right? Weren't they
Yep.
vampires? Yeah,
Vampire.
vampires were the big bads this episode.
No pulse.
Uh, Apparently, they're looking for an amulet in the back of this truck.
That allows them to see the future. Ooh.
Yes, like fucking carnival trick. This guy here is apparently the leader. This guy.
And the worst actor of the bunch.
Oh my gosh, his acting was awful. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was painful to watch. Just painful.
I laughed.
That's how you cope right there. Needless to say, they didn't find what they're looking for. Then we jump to Mary Sue Winchester here and John, and they're talking it up how wonderful their love is, because that's all they care about now. The world, the universe ending event, the life threatening event could take a back seat to their undenying love for one another.
I feel like Sam and Dean took the threats that they were under much more seriously.
They did, yeah, every time. Yet these two priorities are clearly not where they need to be. More walking and talking. He's like, "Oh, I can't live without you," and she's like, "I can't live without you either."
This is just Fifi's the episode.
Fifi's the episode. She ends up oh, here's that picture again. That picture of Dean. Oh man, they're gonna get to the bottom of this. That's pretty much what they say in regards to this picture. They're gonna get to the bottom of it.
They aren't nearly competent enough to.
Nope. Or resourceful enough. We get back to the crime scene. Carlos is having a moment with the security guard. He's talking to him in Spanish about what happens. And, at first the guy's hesitant, a little apprehensive to tell him. But as soon as Carlos started asking him in Espanol, the guy opens up rather easily.
I feel like it wouldn't be enough. I feel like it wouldn't make that much of a difference.
I feel like it wouldn't. The guy would be terrified. Terrified.
You know what happens when Sam and Dean investigate something? First thing they do is we hear them say, "Hi, I'm Agent So-and-so, and this is my partner, Agent So-and-so." They never establish how these kids managed to get them to talk.
They're just good like that. Oh man, the plot convenience is ridiculous in this show. Everything just seems to work out for them. As you say, there's a scene where, okay, so they're all together here and discussing how it was a vampire attack, essentially. So we got to go do our research.
But is that the one where John's fiance, ex-fiance, spots him?
Right, John's ex-fiance. What's Betty? Is it Betty?
Yeah, Betty.
She's kind of doing some poking around here. Yeah.
Remember in Supernatural when they used to leave Kansas? In fact, they barely ever were in Kansas.
I do remember that. Yeah, they were usually out in different states and hunting. Yeah. Conveniently, everything seems to happen here. And where are they at? I keep forgetting.
Lawrence.
Right.
Yep, they're in Lawrence, Kansas, and they're supposed to be dealing with like exceptionally rare monsters, and it's like, vamps aren't that rare. I mean, they're supposedly endangered when we meet them in Supernatural, but evidence doesn't really bear that out.
Correct. You'll have to fill us in. So what's going on in this scene? This is a scene I walked away.
They apparently have a morgue in the bunker, and
The clubhouse.
don't call it that. They have a morgue in the bunker, and Lata.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lata has apparently been investigating, and they have lockers apparently of all the men of letters who retired. But that makes me wonder, you have this exceptionally well warded bunker, and you have your most prized possession, or you have any connection to that possession in a lockbox in a bank. Why wouldn't you put it never mind.
No, I get it. Especially when, like,
Go ahead.
all these different spells and wards, and like, why don't you feel like your bunker is safe enough to have this object? I don't know.
Their explanation is, well, it's good to have assets spread out, just in case. It's like, no, that doesn't fly. Nope.
No, it doesn't. I mean, if that's the case, then just put it in a different bunker in a different location. Like, I don't know. Like,
I'm pretty sure there were supposed to be a few.
that's what I thought.
But then again, they don't remember supernatural canon because apparently vampires are vulnerable to holy water for reasons, even though they've never been vulnerable to it before. Incidentally, that was the stupidest scene in this entire episode. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there.
So they find the amulet, and then John grabs it, and he sees his death. But death means nothing in the supernatural verse, so there you go.
Yeah, he sees. Death means absolutely not a damn thing. He ends up marking himself as well by picking up this amulet. Oh God, this guy's the worst actor. He's not even believable as a vampire.
Nope.
All right, so everyone's back up in, I guess, the main room in the bunker, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna save John. His fate's. This can't be his fate. We're gonna figure this out. Of course, more fifis. I'm just really over it. Then we get John's ex here talking to his mom.
Fishing for info.
Yeah, she's definitely fishing for info. She might be a little jealous as well, just a little bit of
That's
Mary
kind of
Sue.
the impression I get, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, she's like talking to John's mom about his behavior and the people in the company he's keeping these days, and trying to get some information. Of course, his mom has to play it cool, but we see what's going on here. All right.
We find out Carlos hasn't called what's his name from a few episodes back for another date.
Oh yeah,
because Fifi's.
Because feelings. But that guy ends up giving them the name of someone is she supposed to be an expert or familiar with
the lore of the amulet?
Yeah, the lore of the amulet. So they make it to her shop and they're talking to her and she's like, "Oh, let me take a look at it. Let's take a look." And she ends up there it is. She ends up backstabbing them. It was like, "Oh, they threatened me. I had to call them. It's either my life or yours, and I don't want to die." But she ends up getting killed anyway. Oh my gosh, they really want this amulet.
And
the
then
leader,
bad actor vampire sees himself killing John, or sees himself fighting John.
He sees himself killing John.
And it turns out that this sect of vampires is just a bunch of religious fanatics.
Yeah.
Who do the bidding of the amulet, no questions asked.
No questions asked. Just religious fanatic. Yeah, this guy. Horrible actor. Horrible. So they get into a scuffle. Everyone gets knocked around. Everybody gets thrown around. We get back to the bunk. Go ahead.
Is this when they discover that the bunker has a vulnerable spot, or is it right after this?
It's right after this. This is when they're talking about. I think they're going to look for sewer plans or something like that.
They're going through the plans with like the schematics of the bunker, and apparently there's a vulnerable point in the source.
But before we get there, we got more feelings, more fifis here. We finally get the ex confronting Mary, and they're pretty much having a little cat fight, a little meow.
Yeah, a little tete-a-tete. And then turns out that was part of the plan the whole time, except for the fact that it was his ex. Like, that was the only part that was off script.
Let's see where we're at. Finally, that's when we get to so they all meet up to go over the schematics. John's with his mom. They're looking at vampire info and talking. More talking about feelings.
More feelings in bunkers.
Feelings in bunkers. This is the scene where they realize there are certain sections of the bunker that is not warded, which I believe you called bullshit on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that bunker in the real Supernatural was pretty much locked from everything short of God.
Yeah.
Like everything but Chuck and Amara were locked out without permission.
Yep.
I don't think that there would be any part of it that would be a vulnerable point for a vamp.
I agree. Let's see. Then they end up calling. They end up talking to John and like, "Oh, you guys gotta move quickly. Pretty sure that one area is compromised." And as soon as they say that, boom, it gets broken into. Because of course it does.
And then they're like, "We have a safe room. We have one last safe room."
Go ahead.
Which naturally ends up being the room John sees himself die in.
Of course it is. Naturally. Yeah. They call him. They're like, "Oh, she's looking at the schematics. There's a safe room." They get into the room, close the door. John realizes, holy shit, it's got a red carpet. This is where I die. Oh man.
And then there's the scene almost
What is it?
Carlos's scene.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Carlos's scene. Oh gosh, I gotta get to
We
that
must have gotten
scene.
past it.
I think we did. Oh, here it is.
Remember, holy water doesn't affect vampires in this continuity.
Yeah, purely holy water. This
Or at
is
least it never used to.
look at this.
You might want to pause it for copyright.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
He just whips his hair.
I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth.
Oh my gosh. This is redonkulous.
This is the stupidest scene in the entire show thus far.
They can't even keep up with their own continuity.
But even if they could, this is still a stupid idea. Even if they
It
were
is, yeah.
holy water. Like,
It is. But it's such a Carlos move too. Like that's the thing. Like it would be some shit he would do. Some offbeat, stupid hair flipping shit. Oh man.
Mary Girl bosses her way into the bunker.
Oh yeah, she does. She of course Mary Sue does what Mary Sue does best. That's go on a rampage and just destroy everyone in the bunker. No problem. Then they get in the room, the guy gets in the room, and well, John's having this whole thing with his mom, like, oh, I got an idea, you gotta let me try something. His mom's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, you gotta let me do it. Of course, we don't really see it, but then afterwards, we get the context of what happened. So essentially, she ends up killing him.
Just with a live wire. Yeah, she uses a live wire in the bunker safe room.
She uses a live wire to kill him. The head vampire guy ends up biting him.
And there's dead man's blood, which is part of the lore.
Yeah.
It's poison to vampires. It won't kill them, but it'll knock them for a loop.
Yeah. It poisons him. He gets his head chopped clean off by Mary, of course. At this point in time, John is still unconscious. They are dead, technically.
And they're trying to resuscitate him, yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to resuscitate him. Everyone's in their feelings.
The thing is, it looked like they stopped and were crying. And then he just wakes up, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be some dramatic gasp for air move, weird awakening. Like, it's such a trope now.
Yeah, but that's fine. But it wouldn't happen if they stopped doing it. It would happen as they're doing it.
Correct.
And they literally stop, they start crying, and then it happens. That's stupid.
Welcome to the Winchesters.
And then they start making out right in that room,
yeah.
And thus everybody now knows.
Everybody knows, and he's like, "I knew it," and then lots of like, "I told you, I knew it," and it's like no one gives a fuck. Then we got Carlos. He completely ghosted this guy here.
I barely remember he existed.
I likewise. All I know is from what episode told me, they went on a date. He ended up ghosting him. Now he feels bad and asked him out on another date. If I was this guy, I would go tell him to go fuck off. But we need this gay relationship. So here we are with those two. Mary and John put the amulet in the wall here in this secret magical lock location where it should have been all along.
See, I think it was. I think it was that they got the plans to the bunker from. But why would you leave those out where they could be found?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, talking about feelings, more feelings. And in this scene is the
The reporter that Mary blew John off for is talking to John's ex and basically getting
yes.
her on the trail of the hunters. And it turns out he's an accreditism.
Yep. He's an accreditism. He's got his own agenda. So tune in next week.
What a waste of my life.
Oh my gosh, man. This episode, just like the rest, yeah. Bored. Boring. I don't know about you, but that's how I felt about it.
2.
2 rating, yeah. Same. All right. Any last remarks?
Keep track of your lore. Vampires are not affected by holy water.
There you go. Keep track of your lore. Well, we thank you guys for tuning in. We ask that you smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you guys think. Hit that bell for notifications, share this video out there, and you guys take care.
Bye, everyone.